Everything from so a more crowd baby back into TV so. Miss Winnie dim say no face that would back into TV so. Let's also better Skawam and no share so other platform no more comments here or comment section I say. A more reviews so be notification bonus woman send me a broke into TV no. Why face facing now when you're somebody waiting when you're so a woman Ghana any we are saying afanenam. Debi ada na nsam fofo ebeto yo konsu mo amonum kintu TV debi ada mka sho sa asam no yenya ese etu ebo ase hwehwe me hu sa asam we eye no kre ansa ne de abro na wosu wonya bi eti ne wo huni ekoso ewo ma Ghana nsam ne de aye bebre ewo social media so na nyenkopim wo yeye nyina papa lo ya por adom ocho akache no eneye one ye nyina papa Koku Anyidoho twetwe nkomo good evening Ghana na nkomo twetwe ni mu no na ye nyina papa Koku Anyidoho eche so obeyi ato ho mu senti a fiti eye 2009 ana NDC wa bemo enwema bi eche se ekọso aya na ni anjo ho ode bia no sisi ana osori bi obode wuro se eye omaga na entu abama ye nyina ye vice president Dr. Bawumia na mo ntu aba Emma eye former president Mahama no na ebi mo nti ase ebi mo dwo ho mo nti ase enhu se no obi a wo ye ni sini mapa ye 2009 2010 2011 2012 ni na no ye ni sini mapa afide ye na papa asamos enya ni baby call ye pe ene ye na papa Koku Anyidoho ene o start say odin nsam bi ebeja ebetuja kire ye timanfo no former president Mahama say former president Mahama aye say na obi enti ase because ye say obi kana sama o kire isie ache so otu ni mure no ewo so na Koku Anyidoho etumi bo former president Mahama echi kan sembia na me no mienu ina no na yense enuoma bi ase ene de abrewe yi ne poma efikwan mu na ni na ne se nkomotwetwe bi akoso ewo eyepo adom ochel ene eye na papa Koku Anyidoho akache nsama eche so no ankasa opulugu omu senti ono obodewro se ma omaga na entu aba ma NDC aba no eye former president Mahama because nyato abanema na eye ade a omaga na yeti ati ye pa chese pape ede nsam we na etujwa aha eye Kintu TV de meka cho se ye frame efia kandi edi bi ade be frame bia na memma wutu inti sensam pa bi opesa wuti bia na no so be subscribe wutu Kintu TV na wa share to other platform no ma comment here or comment section ase emma we fi so be notification bell so amanse bi ede be block Kintu TV no when you be eti no ho na ekoso ewo ma Ghana kame ho na me no mi nuane yankwaje nsam no nchim ni wia asanso aba ebedu ho enkomo
vice president to have his staff.
But were you not communicating?
We were communicating.
Were you disrespecting John Mahama?
This question, when people ask, my answer I say is that anybody who believes that I disrespected John Mahama then believes that President Mills was not strong. You had President Mills as president of the Republic. You had Mr. Henry Martin Newman as chief of staff. You had Mr. James Biba Kumensa as secretary to president. You had Professor Uno as chairman of Council of State. Among these four senior persons, there was no way Koku Anyidoho could have disrespected the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Paul.
But we heard stories.
As for the stories, plenty.
What about the motorcade that was returned from Tàpè?
Who with me?
Well, they don't know who. John Mahama was on the motorcade going to the north. He got to Tàpè and Colonel Atachi called him and said, who asked him to take the motorcade? He should come back to the castle.
Certainly not me.
Did you know about it? Did you hear about it?
Me. Look, let me tell you.
But did you hear about this one?
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard a motorcade. I've heard other things, but this not this motorcade.
This motorcade doesn't have your name.
Yes.
But this is one of the prominent disrespectful things that happened to John Mahama from the Mills people. He was going to.
Let me tell you other things. He
was told that return the motorcade.
Let me tell you other things that supposedly happened. The way the castle is configured, the topmost floor has the vice president to one side, the president to another side, the cabinet room, secretary to the president. That's the uppermost floor. There's a dedicated corridor from the vice president's office right to the front of the president's office. The only person you meet there is the ADC, the military ADC, Colonel Lawson. My office was beneath that level. I had speeches to write. I had media people to manage. I had other engagements to. So I didn't have an office in front of President Mills's office, as you've heard. That I had that my office was next to the president's office.
Did you have any encounter with John Mahama?
Hold on. Such that when the vice president is coming to the president's office,
stop him.
I'll stop him.
Did you tell?
I had no such.
Did you tell
powers.
Lawson to stop him?
I mean, how? A military. Come on.
Yeah, I can understand. Colonel is not going to listen to Koku Anyidoho to give him instructions.
Subsequently, I heard that was what was happening.
That
A certain Standogbe
was
issuing orders to military colonels, not under Mills. If it happened under John Mahama, that is their cup of tea, but not under Mills, not under Jerry Rawlings. The level of discipline. Paul, if I wanted to see President Mills, I had to go through the processes.
But did you have any encounter with John Mahama?
Never.
What is this story about? Some Saturday, Mills was unwell in 2012 early. Rumors were that he had died. John Mahama is reported to have called Speaker Joyce Bamford-Addo to tell Joyce Bamford-Addo that I hear the president has passed. Can you organize parliament? The story continues that Joyce then asked Kojo Chikata, that's how are we going to do this? They said the old man is dead. Kojo said, I have not heard it. How can the old man die? I don't know. He said, well, this is what the vice president called to tell. Story continues that Kojo Chikata came to the castle to see what's happening. When he came, all of you were around Professor Mills singing praises, and Professor Mills was there. And then you were told that you asked Kojo, what is that? Kojo said, well, Speaker said, Vice President said, Papa has died. And I hear the Monday you went to John Mahama's office, it was brutal. Is it true?
I must have entered the vice president's office not more than 4 times, all on official assignment.
So this story is not true?
Palpably false.
Did Mills have any problem on a Saturday like that?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
So
now let me give you a typical example of how the president respected his vice president. So the president had gone to Switzerland, to Bern, the capital, for a state visit. Then flew to Zurich to meet Sepp Blatter to discuss football matters, because everybody knows the president and football, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the issues of accountability. Long and short. Sepp Blatter said, look, FIFA is not against accountability. What we are against is the interference of governments in the administering the FA. So, for example, if the FA goes to Congress.
Okay, so this is when you created accountability
committee
out of Parliament.
Good.
Oh, I remember that.
We created a public interest committee of
yes,
the GFA, not Parliament.
Yeah,
public
but
interest.
Parliament acknowledged it somehow.
Good.
Yeah.
And Abedi was supposed to chair that public interest committee.
Pele.
And all that. Of course, myself, Kojo Bonsu, this same Nilante and a few people. Chumbuafu Zali. All rabid sports enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And we were all for it. Only for the president to call us one day and say, look, gentlemen, you know what? John Mahama, the vice president, has come to me. Apparently, Kwesi Nyantechi and Randy Abe
had gone to see him.
Yeah,
to talk about it.
To make him feel that we are doing something that is not done. FIFA will collapse Ghana. How can FIFA collapse Ghana?
Okay, so what did the president tell you?
So the president said, the vice president came to me with this story. He's forgotten that I'm a football administrator. He's forgotten that I went to FIFA and I checked all these things. But he believes that you people are doing something and that it can affect the image of sports in Ghana. So you know what? Not that I believe him, but out of respect for him, he has come to complain to me as the president. Why don't you guys just back off so that he believes and knows that whatever he brought to me, I have handled it to the best of my ability.
Oh, that's deep.
I'm telling you. This is President Mills.
Oh, I see. So that's how
Yes.
the committee was slowed down.
Slow down.
Then you must have been annoyed with John Mahama then.
How?
Because
the president says, so me, fast forward, when now Randy and Nyantechi stop being friends, and then Nyantechi had his issues, I only said, Nyantechi, if you had allowed us at the time to help you.
Oh, you're right.
With the
If
public
there was
interest.
that public interest, the system wouldn't have broken down the way it is.
And then
Because
for
that
you.
public interest would have just taken
Exactly.
over and decide what to do. If FIFA would have relaxed.
Thank you.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
so they fell out. The Randy and the Nyantechi, didn't they fall out?
Yeah, they did.
But interestingly enough, Paul, a lot of the people, those days, Randy was a regular on Peace FM. Even, I think, maybe here, Metro.
Yeah, Metro says it.
Lost no opportunity to bash Mills. Who else was not bashing Mills? Those were the days of the Funker Boys, Kofi Adams and co. They will insult Mills 24 hours.
Hey, I forgot about Funker. Who's Bempa? I own who's Bempa.
Immediately,
things have happened in this country.
Immediately, President Mills died. Yamin and co. Doja Jenfi and co. They were in the Ashanti region holding that leg of the insults and the Mills bashing. Immediately, President Mills died. They became right-hand men of John Mahama. And today, they say that even positive criticism against John Mahama is not accepted.
I'll come to that. How did you hear that Mills had died?
So, I was in my office that morning.
It was a weekday, Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. I had seen him the Saturday, which was his birthday, 21st. I had woken up, gone to see him by 6 a.m. And his son Kofi came to join us. We had some interesting discussion about issues. And so that's me crying, eh? And that was Saturday. Sunday, there was church service. Monday, the medics said he wasn't seeing anybody, which is... So Tuesday morning, I was in my office, actually, working on some speech that he was supposed to deliver at a public function. Because I used to write all his speeches. Name them. State of the Nation.
Was he traveling on Tuesday?
Well, I got to know. I didn't know before, but I got to know later, yes, that actually he was going to leave for
Nigeria
that Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So I was in my office when a security man came banging on my door. They're taking the old man away. They're taking the old man. I say, Charlie, I will like it.
Wole from where?
So apparently he was carried, stretchered.
From where?
From his room.
A castle.
At the castle. Into the ambulance.
Or office?
No, not from the office. The residence.
The residence. And put in what kind of car?
Of course, that's that one in an ambulance.
With motorcade was there?
Motorcade, medic. So that's, even at the point they said I carried him in the boot of my vehicle.
Okay, so the motorcade drove him to 37.
Yeah, they drove him to 37.
In a normal presidential.
Oh yeah, that one.
So all those stories are not true.
They are not true.
Thank you.
They are not
Very
true.
happy to hear
no, they are not true. I mean, a sitting president, definitely there will be motorcade. The ADC joined.
So he didn't come to the office at all that day?
No, he didn't come to the office at all that day.
Was it a
residence?
Fell,
yeah. And of course, the stories abound. His son says he had lunch with him. A sister is supposed to have gone there. All those other stories, that is their story.
You didn't see anything?
No, I didn't.
So you were in your office?
I was in my office.
Okay.
And so now, we went to 37. And he was declared officially dead around
2 o'clock.
Yeah, 1:32 or thereabout.
What happened thereafter?
Well, I remember when I arrived, because the motorcade had left.
Is that you and Alote Jacobs?
That's me and Alote Jacobs, yes.
Wow.
We finished mourning and finished crying like this, and they say we have no right to keep the man's legacy alive. And they didn't laugh at us those days. That, yes, their father is dead and gone. We'll see how they will survive in Ghana. And we are surviving and it's paining them.
So,
yeah,
what happened
so when I got to 37, because like I'm saying, the motorcade left, the security man came to inform me. So I now had to rush to 37.